Well, hi guys, welcome, and who dat? I'm Joe. Thanks for tuning in to Rosenfield 10, where I cover our beloved Bless You Boys in black and gold, the New Orleans Saints. And today we're going to talk about all of the moves the Saints have made leading up to the trade deadline on Tuesday. And the Saints have made two moves. We have traded wide receiver Rashid Shaheed and offensive lineman Trevor Penning. I figured the Saints would make two moves. I figured Rashid Shaheed would be one of them, and I was thinking linebacker Pete Werner would be the other. We haven't moved Werner. We haven't moved anyone. Just Rashid and Penning. So what's the trade compensation? Here we go. The Saints trade wide receiver Rashid Shaheed to the Seattle Seahawks, where he's going to be reunited with offensive coordinator Clint Kubiak. And if Sam Darnold and Rashid Shaheed can get a connection quick, you're probably going to see Shaheed this weekend because he probably knows enough of the playbook to get on the field. It's a good move for Seattle. You know, they got Marquez Valdez Scantling in free agency, thinking he was going to be that piece. They end up letting him go. I believe he's on the 49ers team now, maybe their practice squad. And Seattle still looking for that, I guess, deep threat that Rashid Shaheed can provide. So what do we get in compensation? We get a fourth round pick and a fifth round pick in this year's draft. So we were going into the draft with five picks. If we get the fourth round compensation pick for the loss of Paulson Adebo, that would give us six picks. And now we're getting a fourth and a sixth from Seattle. That would bring our tally up to eight picks, and that would be a pretty good haul for the Saints. Now, I'm still a stickler about these late rounders. Sometimes you get good players, sometimes you miss wildly, sometimes you're lucky just to get a starter on special teams. So, what's the big deal? Well, Rashid Shaheed needs a new contract next year. We resign him, it'll probably cost no less than 15 million. We've already got wide receiver Chris Olave on his fifth year option, and he's going to be costing us about 16 million next year. There's a chance you keep Rashid, you pay him 16 million, and then you move away from Olave during the year next year. But Olave is an overall better wide receiver. So we invested a first round pick in Olave. We could have traded him for maybe a second, maybe a third. In this instance, we're getting rid of a player in Rashid who was an undrafted guy for us, and we're going to get a fourth rounder and fifth rounder in his place. Yeah, it sucks. Rashid is a good player, and we hate to lose him. But you're looking toward the future for a team that's rebuilding like we are, and you have no intentions of paying two wide receivers 16 million apiece next year for the kind of production we've been getting. And I have to remind people all the time, especially those yelling insanely on YouTube right now about losing Rashid Shaheed. What are you paying for? You're going to pay both these guys 16 million next year, and for what? We've had Olave and Rashid for three straight years in various formations, various offenses, various quarterbacks, and the production is still the same. It's just not good enough. Olave's a number two at best. Rashid could be a number two if you had a bona fide number one. Rashid's more like a speed option, third down guy. You know, I'm cool with the draft. I'm cool with the picks. Around four and around five this year for a wide receiver we weren't going to keep anyway. And if we did, we'd be spending a lot of money on him. And when I look at the results that we've had already, yeah, I'm going with the hope. So fourth round pick, fifth round pick for Rashid. I'm happy. I'm fine. You get Devon Bailey to finally get on the field. Nobody wants to sit Rashid Shaheed or Chris Olave and give Devon Bailey a chance, and he ends up popping in there as a number four guy every now and then because we're putting Brandon Cooks in the damn game too. So now Bailey can play a nice big X receiver spot, have Chris Olave on the other side, and Brandon Cooks can be your freaking veteran mentor backup option. I'm still looking forward to what Jalen Polk can bring us next year, as well as Trey Palmer. We've got Mason Tipton to be a speed threat that Rashid was. And like I said, Chris Olave is the guy that's going to take Rashid's spot. And Devon Bailey is just going to have to step it up. Now, in all honesty, you trade a fourth round pick for Devon Bailey and a seventh. If you can get 30 something catches out of Bailey, it's worth the pick. It's going to be a high fourth round pick, probably the first overall. And, you really think you can get a great player with a high fourth round pick. But, you look at the way the averages, okay, the way things usually go. Most fourth round picks don't even make teams. If they do, they're just contributors. Very rarely do you get a guy who's starting and contributing at a very high level. So there's a possibility, but then, like I say, Vele can give you 30 something catches a year. I think it's worth a fourth round pick. Remember, we didn't get that much from Traquan Smith, 30, 40 catches a year, and he was a third round pick. So still have hope for Vele. And I'm not screaming, crying in my damn oatmeal in a drunken stupor over losing Shaheed. Not at all. The next one I'm going to talk about, and the only other trade we made before the trade deadline, is trading away Trevor Penning, our current offensive left guard, starting left guard. And we trade him to the Los Angeles Chargers. They're in need of a right tackle big time. Trevor Penning was okay at right tackle last year. So the Chargers are willing to give him a shot. They pretty much need anything at this point. They've got a lot of injuries. Trevor Penning is a first round talent, more like a third or fourth round talent. But we don't get anything like that in compensation. We're trading away this former first round pick for a 2027 sixth round pick. Now, this feels like a really bad deal when you think that we invested a first rounder and the guy is starting for us. However, Penning is no good. You can put backup Dylan Reduns in Penning's place, you won't miss a beat. I'm starting to think you could put Xavier Trust and you wouldn't miss much of a beat. Torricelli Simpkins could start at left guard and you wouldn't miss much of a beat. From what we're seeing from Penning and Ruiz right now, I was hoping Ruiz would be traded. Nobody wants Ruiz. Nobody really wants Penning. That's why it went down to the wire with less than 2 minutes to go in this trade deadline. We get the Chargers to agree to give us a 2027 sixth round pick for Trevor Penning. It feels bad, but you're looking toward the future. Penning's in a contract year this year. There's no way we resign him. If we do and he's our starter, we're not going to be any good on the offensive line. So you're cutting him anyway. You're letting him go. He's going to test free agency next year. Let him go. And, you know, we're going to have a six round pick instead of nothing at all. And that's the way I look at it. I don't think you're missing much by not having Penning on this team the rest of this year, even though he's your starting left guard. He's no good. He hasn't shown any progression. Cesar Ruiz is no good either. This is the main reason our team sucks on offense right now. No quarterback in Kingdom Come is going to get rid of the ball in less than 2 seconds. Literally, I'm watching our quarterbacks take the snap, and as they're dropping back, whoever Ruiz and Penning were supposed to block is right in their face the whole time. They can't even plant their back foot without having a defensive tackle or a defensive end in their grill because Penning and Ruiz suck so bad. So getting a six round pick for Trevor Penning feels kind of right now. But next year, when that dude's not here and we wouldn't have re-signed him anyway, and then you look forward to the next draft and you got an extra six round pick, you might get a special teams contributor out of the deal who actually is worth playing. And I'm not going to feel so bad about it. Based on Trevor Penning's output, you'd be happy to get a Pop Tart for this MFR, okay? So that's the way I look at it. You guys let me know in the comments how you feel getting rid of Trevor Penning. It's a sigh of relief. Getting rid of Cesar Ruiz would have been nice too. In a lot of simulations, I got rid of both those players, Rashid Shaheed And I was normally getting a fourth round pick for him, a fourth and a fifth. So I think that compensation is fair. It sucks losing a great player. Our offense is going to suffer as a result if Devon Vele isn't utilized properly by Kellen Moore, but it's worth it. And then Trevor Penning. Yeah, I was often getting a fourth round pick for Trevor Penning. So getting a sixth round pick sucks, but yeah, we're not going to miss a beat on the offensive line. If Dylan Redund struggles as much as Trevor Penning, it, it's call it even. I'm starting to think Redunds is going to play left guard better than Trevor Penning. I'm starting to feel that way. Kind of like how we feel that Morcelli Simpkins could be better than Cesar Ruiz at right guard. A lot of us are thinking that. I think Ruiz has a lot of years of experience, so he's probably got a little more going on up here than an undrafted rookie in Simpkins, but physically, Ruiz is getting whipped. I was debating on doing a video about players that had to go, and Trevor Penning was going to be number one on that list, and quite honestly, Cesar Ruiz was going to be number two, with Jawan Johnson at number three. So I'm still looking to replace all of those players. We're going to get a left guard in the draft. I'm certain about it. It's going to probably take a second round pick to get one of the really good ones because there's a couple of good guards and they're getting mocked in the first round right now. So yeah, it's going to be a tough pill to swallow, but the Saints should have been drafting a guard in the second round over the last 2 or 3 years. They refused to do it. Andres Pete is gone. you know, uh, James Hurst is gone. Yeah, Nick Saldiveri can't stay out of the hospital. So yeah, we need guards. We need two of them actually. So let me know what you think in the comments down low. Joe. Until the next one, I'll talk to you later. Who dat?